The following clip is taken from a YouTube channel called Just Pearly Things.
I somewhat agree. I personally, it's very debatable because sometimes women don't know what they want, and like you said, like we think
They never know what they want, bro. They can't even decide what to eat. That's why you have to decide for them.
sometimes we think we know what they want by like doing stuff like cooking and cleaning and like spending
Oh,
more
is she
time.
talking about men?
Sometimes women don't know what they want,
no,
and like you
some-
said, like we think sometimes we think we know what they want by like doing stuff like cooking and cleaning. And
Well, you certainly don't know what men want, and y'all don't even know what you want. Because what they say they want in men and how they actually move are completely different things. Like, they'll say they want the nice guy who buys them flowers, gets them cupcakes, but then they go fuck the bad boy who treats them like shit. So they don't know what they want, and they also can't make basic decisions like what do I want to eat. So you can never go based off what a woman says. Go by what she does.
spending more time with them, but like it's like when the guy approaches them first, obviously
We always approach first. Well, there's been a few times I've been approached first, but most of the times I've slept with women. Yeah, it's been most of the times I've made the first approach, and that's fine. Men have always historically approached. Nothing wrong with that. But again, see, she doesn't know what she's talking about. They just start talking and hope that somewhere along the line they make sense. And they do this because throughout women's lives, nobody corrects them. Society doesn't correct them. They tell them, yeah, you go, girl. Their friends never correct them. Yeah, girl, you go. You're a 9, you're a 10. And then the guys around them never correct them because they just want to fuck them. Even this fucking Kendrick Lamar looking like bitch. There's some guy out there who's simping for her, bro. 100%.
they think that they're good looking and like, oh, let me try, to be fair, like, oh, let me try this, let me try that. And it's like at the end we might not get what they want, and then we'll obviously get angry because they approached us first, and it's just like, what did you want in the beginning with
Sex.
me anyway?
Sex.
Yeah, of course. So it's just, but like in this, like, especially like I'm 24 as well, like I'm like, if you approach me and like you really want, no, like you should know what you like, guys, you should know what you want as well, like even
Sex.
yeah yeah, like, and then when we don't want that, you look mad.
Do they get mad or do they move on?
No, some of them get
Both.
mad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, some guys do get mad, and it's stupid to get pissed off at women if they don't sleep with you. That's just dumb, and you're showing weakness if you do that. You know, if the girl rejects you, just move on to the next one. Because every pimp know, hoes they come, they go.
All right. So what?
Yeah, both.
Fair enough. So what I'd say is, male and female relationships are transactional. Men want sex, women want relationships. Women control access to sex, men control access to relationships.
Yep.
That's true.
It's a game that you're playing with a guy. If you can withhold sex long enough for him to kind of get to the point where he feels like he needs to wife you, then you're playing the game right.
And also a lot of guys, if they know you've slept with guys before, like very quickly, they're and they want to date you, but you're making them wait. They're just thinking like, what am I doing here? You didn't make him wait.
Exactly, and we like being first. Men were very, very competitive, and we don't like the idea that some other guy didn't have to work for it at all, or he bought you a cup of Starbucks and you gave him the pussy, but I had to take you out on 3 dates and pass your shit tests, etc., etc. The girl that I mentioned in some of my earlier videos, Miss Body Count 25, one of the reasons I stopped taking her seriously was her body count. And another reason was, well, primarily it was the body count. But another thing that pissed me off was one of the guys she had slept with a few months before she met me. She didn't make that motherfucker work at all. So in my mind, I was like, man, is he better than me? What the fuck? It pissed me off. It made me angry. And so these bitches don't realize that. And then they'll say, well, I wanted to make you wait because I didn't want you to think I was a slut. But even though you were, clearly you slept with that guy after a cup of Starbucks. But then you're going to make me wait to make me think that you're some kind of a good woman, even though you're not. Ho.
And so a lot of guys get frustrated and just leave because, it's like you slept with 3 guys on the football team.
Exactly.
So
I was going to leave her the minute I found out she had a 25 body count. I kept her around because the sex was good. She had some good pussy, man. Even after 25 hits, 25 different motherfuckers, man, that shit was tight as a motherfucker.
Why on earth am I waiting for this?
I don't cap, I don't lie, She was a hoe for sure, but that pussy was nice.
Guys will do the same
But
thing.
then that just shows you wasn't serious in the first place. Then that just shows that he was just actually there for sex because
No.
No.
Tom
These
got
bitches
it
don't
quicker
know
than
nothing, man.
Harry.
No.
Bitches don't understand what a man's world is like. They don't understand how competitive we are. And they might say, oh, it's bad, it's toxically masculine. Dumbass hoe, that's what's driven humans forward. That ego that we have. That's what makes things. That's why you make buildings. We make fast cars. We make iPhones every year, and faster ones for no reason. We just make it faster, better camera. It's the competitiveness of men that drives everything. These hoes don't understand. Well, it's the incorrect way of thinking because I'm a woman and I think blah 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 nonsense shit that doesn't make sense. Because they think that we think like women, even though we don't. And there's nothing wrong with them thinking like women. That's what they're supposed to do. They're women. But then they expect us to think like them. Which is because we live in this female correct world now, where their way of thinking is the correct way. And if you have an opinion, it's toxic. It's toxic masculinity. Or if you have preferences, that's bad. They can have preferences all day long. They can say, I want a guy who's 6 foot plus, who's 6 figures. I want a guy who's handsome in the face. I want a guy basically describing me. But if I say, okay, I don't want you to have a triple digit or even a double digit body count, that's bad. Or if I don't want you to be a fat bitch, that's bad. Or if I don't want you to be an obnoxious cunt where you're like fighty for no reason, that's bad. That's me being toxically masculine. And I can't handle a strong woman. Shut the fuck up. These women have air in their heads, man. They make no sense. And they think that men and women are the same because we've been fed this equality bullshit our whole lives. And they really believe this shit. They think that men and women think the same way when nothing is further from the truth.
Oh, it shows, one, men value purity, so they don't want a girl that slept with a lot of guys.
But it's
Facts.
fine for them to do.
Yeah, because men and women are different.
Exactly.
Like, it's easy for us. You
Pearl
can walk
gets it.
outside. I could walk outside.
But we're all human. No? Okay.
What?
Let me not.
I agree. We're all human. Like, it's not like girls don't want to have sex. But it's valuable to a guy to have a girl that hasn't had as many experiences because it lowers your value the more people you slept with.
I find that
sadly,
ridiculous.
sadly.
Bro, this girl who's saying I find that ridiculous? Let me show you this. Let me show you her face one more time. This Kodak Black looking like bitch. I guarantee you even she has at least 50 bodies, even though she looks the way she looks. And this is why women don't understand why it's different for men and women. Why it's different if a man has a high body count versus if a woman has a high body count. Because even if you're a man who look like this, bro, you're not getting no box. She basically looks like Kodak Black. And Kodak Black, even though he has money now, he's a simp. He has to pay his way to get pussy. And you can see it in some of the videos he released. Like, the bitches weren't even into him. He was, like, spending money on them. They're like, eh. So, a guy who's like Kodak Black, even though he's famous, and he looks exactly like her, and he's a guy, he doesn't get no play unless he's paying. But even this bitch, even this Malcolm X looking like bitch, she can have a high body count. And they don't get it. They don't understand then why it's different. A guy has to put in value one way or the other. Whether he has to be good looking, big D, money, cool cars, cool personality, funny, something. You have to have some attributes as a guy to acquire a high body count. But as a woman, you just have to exist. But you can't explain it to these low IQ people, man. They don't get it. And women are emotional creatures. They don't think with logic. So you can't really expect them to understand.
It's true, but in society, it's true.
Yeah, why is that?
Like the smart ones get it. Like Pearl gets it. But Pearl's also not from a broken home. She had a solid masculine father figure at home. So he's obviously mentored her. She gets it. But these no father, broken home bitches, they don't understand. And they'll never get it.
Society just
Yeah.
made it like
Guy
that.
was
It's a
prefer-
biological thing.
Yeah,
A girl
yeah,
sleeping-
because-
One at a
because
time, guys. One at a time.
Biologically, men and women are different. So historically, men had to ensure paternity. So they had to make sure that the woman that they were sleeping with, like that she was passing on his genes. And so we can't make our biological like need go away. The same way we can't help that we like men taller than us because historically we had to find a guy to protect us.
Exactly.
It's just innate in them. They can't help it. So it like how would you feel if you were dating a girl and you found out later, like after you were together, that she slept with 3 of your boys?
Oh my.
No, that's his
Cut.
boys. Like,
Cut. Yo, there's this one girl who's actually kind of a cute chick, and she's a good person. And I know she likes me because she hits me up on Instagram once in a while, and she'd like video chat me randomly at night. But then I found out that 2 of my boys had hit it at the same time. So I cut her off. I can't deal with that. But these bitches think that they can just sleep around and there's no consequences. She lost out on a great fucking guy, obviously, me. Because I ain't having that. I can't fucking wife you up and like take you out in public when 2 of my friends have run a train on you. Are you fucking out of your mind?
No, let's say
Done.
three acquaintances. You don't know them well.
that's still the same.
I found out later.
Yeah, later.
Yeah, no, I'd be fuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
You'd be
I knew
upset.
before, then
Acquaintances, of course.
I would have made a choice. Obviously, I wouldn't
Oh,
do it,
yeah.
but
Okay,
I would
okay.
have made a choice to be there. But if I know later and now I'm in deep, then I would be fuming because I've invested all this time, effort, money to know that
Exactly.
there's brothers in and around me looking at me going, yeah,
Now,
Now it kind of
No.
makes
I've
you
been
look.
there.
now, what if you waited a month to bang her and you found out that all of them slept with her on the first date?
yeah, I'm fighting everyone. Can't lie.
Because a guy wants you to like view him as the best that like you can do. So if we're going around making one guy wait and giving it to another guy immediately, like to the guy, it's like you don't like him. You like
Exactly,
the other
'cause we're
guys
very
more,
competitive.
and you're just settling for the other guy,
Yeah.
right? Would you, men? Is that
Yeah, fair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Because men don't like to feel like they're being settled for at all, I don't think. I think
Not at
men
all.
like feeling like a woman is there to settle for him. Men, like you said, does like to feel like he is the best that woman wants, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
We also don't want something that everyone else has had. We want something that's special. Like if one of the reasons I want a Lambo, well, they're fast, they're beautiful to look at, and they're amazing to drive. But one of the reasons I want one is because not a lot of other people have one. But if everybody had a Lambo, it wouldn't be as special.
Because I think, whoever you get as a partner, they want to be treated like a 10 and you want to be treated like a 10. Whether you are objectively in terms of beauty standards or not isn't the point. The kind of relationship you have with your partner, you should be each other's 10.
This is what I
Do you get what I'm saying? But is that possible if like a 5 is going for a 10? I don't think so.
I don't
No,
know.
and the problem is these women, even though they're 5s, they can easily hook up with guys who are 10s on Tinder easily. It's just a swipe away. I mean, the guy's not going to take the 5 out in public. He's not going to be seen at a bar with her, but he'll smash her. He'll bend her over the sink. But then these 5s think that the 10 guy is their level.
That's
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
that's the
They think that's the kind of guy, because I can sleep with him, I can also get a guy like that for long-term commitment or marriage, which is completely false. And that's why some of these women's heads are so screwed up these days.
The problem is, I don't think that can happen
have
where everyone gets
unrealistic
their first
standards
choice
for what they
because,
can get.
No.
especially nowadays, you have 80% of women sleeping with 20% of guys.
Facts.
So the 5 thinks she's an 8 because she's sleeping with the 8, 9, or 10.
Exactly what I said.
And so
Exactly what I
when
said.
she gets married, she's going to view her husband as less. That's another issue with sleeping with a lot of guys. Did you know if you sleep with more than 5 guys, your chance of a happy marriage after 10 years goes from 80% to 25%?
Why?
Why?
Yeah, casual sex. Is
Why?
something.
Because the more men you sleep with, you lose your ability to bond with each one.
Pair bonding.
Yeah, it's pair bonding. So if you sleep with one guy, you're going to compare the next guy to him. If you sleep with 10 guys, you compare all 10. If you sleep with 20, you compare all 20.
And guys hate being compared to other guys.
Well, they hate being, but it makes you more divorced. Like,
Yeah.
You're not likely to be divorced, but you're more likely to leave if you did that because you're with your husband thinking about the last, like, 10 guys that maybe weren't as good as the one you married.
God damn.
That's why if you wife up a girl who's 29, 30, some of you, especially some of you nerds, I see it happening all the time. I'll see like this nerd with a good job, decent pay, who'll marry like a former hottie who's still kind of hot at 29, 30. But it's so obvious that she married him for his income. Don't be that fucking guy, because you're going to end up getting used and abused, and she's going to divorce you, and she's going to resent you even if you're a great guy to her, and she's not even going to know why. And it's going to be because she's had better than you, man. She's had that guy from the football team who put a fucking on her that she just can't forget. Do you want to compete with all that shit, or do you just want a 21-year-old with like 3-4 bodies? I know which one I would want, and I know I'm one of the top guys. But the problem is if a chick's fucked 40, 50 dudes, I know at least one of them had a bigger dick than mine, and I don't like knowing that. You know what I mean? As good as I am, as big as my package is, I don't want to be number 2 or number 3 to anybody. And guys are competitive like that, especially guys who are successful at the top. High-functioning dudes, we're very, very competitive. We don't like losing. We don't like being number 2, number 3 to anybody. But you can't explain that to these below basic average hoes. They don't get it, man. They don't live life competitively on the edge like some of the higher level guys like me do. They don't get it, and they won't never get it. Are you okay?
Yeah, that's just mad. I think that's mad because like
Made you think it.
She thinks that's mad because we live in a female correct society now, where their way of thinking is the right way, and what if we say something is toxically masculine or it's incorrect, you shouldn't think like that, or whatever shaming tactic they want to use, they'll use.
Can it?
Yeah, because but mostly girls, okay. Girls always go for like a relationship. So cool if they sleep with more than 10 people and then they find more than 5 people and they find someone, are they still gonna be okay, cool, like he's not as best as Jake, like
well
I think
she's using the I gotta kiss a bunch of toads to find my prince analogy, but the problem is you kiss enough toads, sooner or later you're gonna get an infection.
It depends on
quite literally
on the girl. It absolutely depends on the girl.
Okay.
And it depends who she marries. Does she marry a guy that's better than all the guys she slept with, or does she feel like she's settled? Like I'll give you an example. If there's a guy, like for me, and I didn't realize what I was doing, right? But if there's a guy that to me is like a 9, right? And he's talking to me, I'm like, why are you talking to me? Because I just immediately think that he wants like sex.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you're a little out of my life. I feel like you just
out of my league type thing.
yeah. And it's because, and I didn't realize that's an innate like response to not wanting to be alpha widowed. And an alpha widow is basically when you sleep with a guy that's so high value, no one else can compare. And so every guy, so your husband might pay for it because you're sleeping with your husband wishing it was the other guy.
Oh, that's disgusting.
God damn.
And I don't know about you, but I've found that there's always girls always have one ex that they like can't get over. That they can't. That it doesn't matter who they date after. They're always thinking about that last ex. And when I was in college, I remember just thinking, "Wow, this is so weird. Like everyone's got that one, and that's everyone's alpha widow." Like I'll give you a story. I tell this story all the time on my show.
And the thing she said about, is the guy you married better than all the guys that you've slept with in the past? And for most of these women, especially the ones who marry at 29, 30, and most women in the West are the average age of marriage for women is 29, 30. By that age, the guy they marry is not the best that they've ever done. The best that they've ever slept with was back in their early 20s. So the guy that they end up marrying, they end up resenting that dude. That's why that's one of the reasons the divorce rate is so high.
So there was a girl I went to school with. She was like the girl next door you never would have known. She slept with a guy, or she was dating a guy for like a month freshman year. Okay. And they broke up because he was kind of a player. Like, he cheated on her. Like, I'm like, a month? Like, that's so soon. Yeah, I know. I'm like, you couldn't make it a month.
Have you
Yeah. So, like, fast forward 4 years later, she's dating a new guy. This man treats her like a queen. Okay. He bought her a house. She bought her a house, moves her into the house.
Where you find him? Amazon?
They're still together. They're still
find him on Amazon?
Yeah. No, they're still together to this day. I would say he probably wasn't as like good looking as the guy from freshman year, or had like as much of a smooth talker, but like good, reliable, responsible guy. Bought her a house, moved her in, all this stuff. We're at a party, okay? And
Oh God.
yeah, I'm at a party. And she's there, and the guy that bought her the house isn't coming, but he's gonna get there in like an hour, okay? And I see her. She goes into the bathroom, and I'm like, why is that? Like, where'd she go? And
Don't say her name.
and she comes. I see her come out of the bathroom with the guy from freshman year.
For fuck's sake.
She was sleeping with him in the bath. I don't know how long or what happened. I just was like,
exactly what I was talking about. Case in point.
And you never would have known, because she was like the girl next door. And
don't be that nice guy, man, buying these girls houses and shit. That's how you get suckered. That's how you get played for a fool. And never lead with your wallet. Ever.
Yeah, she's like still with the other guy today. So when I think of Alpha Widow, that's what I think of.
Was she drunk?
I don't know, probably. Yeah.
Not
an excuse.
No,
I
don't like. I wasn't super close with her like that. We were just on the like.
You see what I'm saying, guys? These hoes are conniving, and they like fucking in bathrooms, and they like doing that kind of shit because they like doing things that they're not supposed to do. And this is a great example of what I was talking about. That guy who she fucked in freshman year, he was the player, the big Chad alpha dude who's fucking around, fucking everything. And they like those kind of guys, whether they admit to it or not. They like a guy who has options. They like knowing that if they fuck up, you're gonna go and get some next pussy quick. I mean, they don't like it, but they like to be with a guy who can do that. A guy who can fuck other pussy. And that's why if you have a girlfriend, you can't keep bitches off you. But as soon as your girlfriend leaves, then it becomes harder to fuck new bitches. It's the phenomenon of pre-selection. And so they like guys like that. Going back to the point, they like guys like that. And don't be that sucker idiot guy who buys her a house and all this other shit. You know, get your muscles up, man. Get your fitness up. If you're not good looking in the face, like me, get your muscles up. If you're not tall, again, like me, I'm 6'2". Thank you, God. If you're not blessed in those areas, get your muscles up, man. Muscles even beats having a good-looking face. You know, be the guy that she's aroused by, not the guy that she's necessarily attracted to. There's a difference between attraction and arousal. You want to be the guy who arouses her, who turns her on. Don't be the guy she's attracted to because you can buy her a house. That's attraction.
Like, we just, like, we're the same friends, right? But I was like, oh my God, this happened so long. This is like, she's probably hooking up with him the whole time. And so when I think of an alpha, like, that's the problem when you get a bigger and bigger body count, is like, you're more likely to find a guy that the next guy can't compete with, especially if you're batting out of your league.
Yeah, and most of these women are batting out of their league, especially on dating apps, Tinder, Bumble. You see how these bitches pick the stats that OkCupid released and Tinder released them too. The top 80% of women are going for the top 20% of dudes. That means any bitch from a 2 to a 10 is only going for the top 20% of dudes. That's why you motherfuckers have to get your game up. Get your muscles up, get your money up, get everything up. Max out your character. Stop only maxing out your character in video games. And I'm not even anti-video games. Play video games, but also max out your real-life character.
Wow. A house.
Or you're going to get played like the guy who bought that bitch a house.
He must. Did he find
Some
out?
of y'all started thinking,
I don't know. I don't look it. It wasn't.
yo.
I was a senior, so I was just about to like leave the
I'll tell you guys another story, man. I got this Facebook call from this guy. I hadn't talked to him in years. I knew him since before I moved to Canada. I'm originally from Pakistan. I know him from my Pakistan days. So I knew him since like grade 6. And I talked to him years and years after that. But then anyways, all out of the blue, after like 8-9 years, this guy hits me up out of nowhere, right? So I'm thinking he needs money or something. He needs something because people don't generally just call you out of nowhere for no reason. So it turns out he wants my advice because he sees my lifestyle on Instagram. He's like, okay, you seem to be good with women. I married this chick. We bought a house. I owned a house before I married her. She made me sign the house in her. She made me also put her on the house title. And now she's divorcing me, and now she's gonna take half the house. So I'm like, what are you calling me for now? You should have talked to me before you fucking signed half the house in her name. And shit, you should have called me even before you married her, or even before you started dating her, man. It's too late now. What do you want me to do? And the problem with these Western countries is they'll fuck him. They'll fuck. Maybe even if he hadn't put half the house in her name, they would have still fucked him somehow, like with some kind of payment or something that he would have had to make to this woman. And he was a good guy. Problem is, he was a good guy. That was his biggest problem. He was a nice, goofy, kind of nerdy brown guy with an accent. He never got rid of his accent like I did mine. But he's kind of a nerdy guy. Like, he's not the kind of guy who's gonna get picked up by bitches at a club. You know, you got to be that guy who bitches would fuck with at a club. Like, that's the litmus test to me, because that's where it's a highly competitive environment, because there's other men there you have to compete with. And if you can get a bitch in a highly competitive environment and take her home, that's the kind of bitch that you need to fucking be with or make your girlfriend. Now, I know picking up a girl at a club or a bar is not the best place, but again, if a woman is attracted to you enough, that means she's going to make a good girlfriend. Aroused by you enough, I mean. Attraction and arousal are different things, but you guys get the point. Now, I know for a fact, looking at this guy, he's not the kind of guy who arouses women. So if you're that kind of guy, ultimately, man, you're gonna get played. You have to check the other stats. You can't just fill up the money bar. You have to fill in the muscle bar. You have to fill in the personality bar. There's a whole bunch of things you have to acquire to be a man that women want to fuck. That's one of the only ways to not get played. The other way to not get played is not get married on paper in a Western country. You can do your religious ceremony at a church or a mosque, do your nikah, but don't get the government involved. And certainly don't put a bitch on the title of your house, dumbass.
The school. So I was just like, I'm graduating.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like.
That's what left.
I'm sorry, but men really shouldn't lead with their wallets when it comes
Exactly.
to, you know,
that term I think I learned from their Pearl says that, don't lead with your wallet. I think I picked up that term from
engaging
their
with
show.
females.
They should not.
They really
They
shouldn't.
should not.
And they should.
Look, money is a bonus. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a nice thing to have. Yeah, it's a nice thing to flaunt, and it's a nice thing to spend on your partner. Yeah, but if you're gonna buy a house and then just
That's-
He
that's
didn't.
a
Like,
lot.
the guy didn't lead with his wallet. It was,
Okay.
it was after a couple years.
That's a bit different.
Yeah, they were together for like a minute. Like,
But if he's getting cheated on,
but he didn't know. I'm telling you, like some guys, and I maybe you guys would disagree, but I don't think the boyfriends. I think it's very hard for men to tell if you're the girl's second choice because you might not be fighting all the time. You might you really probably won't ever know. The friends know. The
The
friends.
girlfriends.
Yeah,
The
the
girlfriends
girlfriends.
know.
and they won't tell you either.
The family
They're
might.
not.
I
They're
mean,
not gonna
are
tell
you
you.
are you going to tell the girlfriend if your friend's cheating?
Exactly. Yes,
It's the
I
same-
personally,
I will.
I would.
I don't care.
I know. I mean,
personally, I would.
I don't care.
That's the kind of guy you should not have a friend. Because if your boy's gonna snitch on you, man, what the fuck? He's gonna catch hands. If he did that to me, bro, what the fuck? How you gonna rat out on your own boy? You gotta watch out for guys like that, man. Because guys will rat out on you because they think they can sleep with your girl if they do so. You gotta watch out for them dudes.
I'm sorry.
You would what?
No.
So okay. She,
Go- let's go around.
Let's say your friend. Let's say she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
She's cheating.
Oh,
Yeah.
if she's cheating.
Yeah, you know.
And I know.
Do you tell her
Oh,
boyfriend?
hell no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
No, if the guy is cheating on her.
No, I'm talking
No,
about your
the other way
friend.
around.
No, but I'm saying if the guy cheated on her, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
of
but
course.
that's
Oh,
the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think both genders
I
are
have
loyal to
heard
each other in that
listen,
way.
exactly.
But we're not
I
gonna
don't get that
snitch if our girl's cheating or if the guy's cheating.
That's the thing. So look, I've been friends with LJ since we were like 14 years. I was 14 years old. He's 16.
Right.
Yeah? Like we've been friends for over 10 years.
right.
If I knew that he had a wife and he was cheating on her, I think I could look him in the eye and say we would probably fight. I think
What kind of a friend is he, bro? This white dude should knock him out right now, bro.
I could look him in the eye and just genuinely
Do
just
you-
say
That wasn't
like,
the question.
Would you? I mean, you
No,
like.
as in, I would
Yo, doesn't this white guy look like Martin Shkreli?
have
What the fuck, bro? You know, this guy looks like Martin Shkreli, bro.
something to say.
Well, yeah, you might say it to him, but you're not gonna go to his wife,
Well, I would probably give him an ultimatum and say, if you aren't going to tell your wife
right? But you're an exception.
something,
Bro, what kind of a pussy ass dude is this, man? The fuck is wrong with guys these days, man? You would rat on your own friend? Oh yeah, I have a moral problem because you fucked some other pussy. What kind of fucking SJW soy boy bullshit is this? This guy's definitely a soy milk enthusiast.
something's going to
You're
happen.
An exception. You're not the rule.
Sure,
You're not,
perhaps
like,
that's
most
the
men-
case.
Nah, he's capping. No, you
think I'm capping?
No, I don't
You think I'm capping?
Hear me out. I think you're capping on the sense that if you were in the situation, yes, I believe you'd get angry with him.
I am more
Wait,
loyal
let
to
me
my
finish.
principles
Let
than
me-
I am my
let-
friends.
Let me finish.
Go on.
I think you'd get at him. I think as a man of principle, you would
Yo, this white guy should stop being friends with this dude right now, bro.
speak to him, you'd fight him, you'd have that discussion with him.
Yeah.
I don't think you would go,
Go to the wife.
To the
Me
wife.
personally.
I don't think it's right.
Okay,
marriage-
I
a
agree.
bond
It's
is between-
not right for me to directly speak to her.
Hear me out.
Sorry, go.
So he's changing his position. His voice is cracking now. This guy's like, he's gonna backtrack on what he said. He's a pussy ass dude. I can see it. He's a pussy.
A bond is between two people.
Mm.
They're in a relationship together. There is no third person.
Right.
The moment you go
That's
and
what I-
interfere in that, right, you're playing a dangerous game.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It is
You
a dangerous game.
You don't know that she may already know that he's cheating.
Yeah.
But she's happy with the benefits. The moment you come, no, hear me out. The moment
What
you
benefits to cheating?
so women marry or are in relationships mainly for status.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
understand-
I get that. I get that.
Let me finish.
Go on.
They understand that if they are with a man of high value, they are willing to compromise the idea of cheating because they understand that they may not be able to get another man of that kind of value or status. So they are willing to go through the bullshit as long as it's not out in the open and people don't know.
And
Yeah, he's right. I can't lie.
and girls are more attracted to guys that cheat. I mean, why do you think they say men
100%.
are trash? Why do you think they're always complaining about getting cheated on?
Because
We
they
pick
fuck
'em.
those guys. Exactly, bro. I've cheated on almost all of the long-term girlfriends. Actually, all of them. I've cheated on all of the girlfriends that I've ever had. And most of them, yeah, except for one. All of them caught me. And not one of them left me for cheating. Not one.
Like, because historically, there's biological.
They like it when they kind of. I mean, they of course all of them got upset and mad when they found out, but their lizard brain is attracted to a man who can go out and fuck other pussy, because they do not want a guy who other bitches don't want, and you can take that to the bank.
Roots to everything. So historically, if a man could take care of other women, that meant that he could take care of us. So if we see that he's taking care of another woman, then we're attracted to that. It's kind of messed up. But how many girls do you know that get cheated on and go back?
Yeah, like I said,
To
man,
that.
I never had a single girl who left me for cheating. You gotta go based off women's actions. You can't go based off what they say, because they'll say, I just want a faithful, loyal guy who will never cheat on me. But in reality, the guys they pick are the guys who are fuckboys. I'm not saying all women, but for the most part. Even the nice, good, decent women, the office type bitches. Even they like the kind of guys who, like, you know, you're kind of bad boy, you fuck around. They want to kind of know that you have other options. They like, man, I've had bitches where they've straight up caught me. And, you know, I would tell them, yeah, you know, I cheated, blah, blah. They cry, they get upset. But eventually they take me back. Because part of them respects the fact that you can go fuck other bitches. And that keeps them in line. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.